Hello everyone, it is me, TheBetulaWitch, back at it again with another video. And today I will be discussing this Pluto Retrograde. I have pulled some cards for us. They are from the Gods and Titans Oracle deck by Stacey DeMarco. They are illustrated by Jimmy Manton. Okay, so let's get into this. So I pulled some cards for some obstacles that we'll be facing. I pulled 3 for those, so let's get into that. Our first card is Set, Chaos. Excellent. So from these cards that I'm seeing, it looks like it's about to be a wild time. Okay, but let's just get into Set. So Set is known as this god for chaos, and so chaos, like a natural, like a force of nature that destroys everything, kind of brings it back down so that you kind of have to rebuild. And Set is very much about like kind of tossing things up in the air to see how it is that you're going to react, but it's also to kind of break down what is not working for you so that you can build up what will be working for you, and be smart about the things that you're doing and be honest with yourself and taking like accountability. That's what I think of when I think of Set, especially from people who talk about like worshiping him and things like that. Like, that's definitely a lot of what I'm getting. So there's going to be a lot of upheaval for us at this time. It might seem like things are kind of going really crazy, but this Pluto retrograde does have a purpose. So I'm not saying like just this particular one, but in my eyes, the purpose of a Pluto retrograde is for you to re-examine cycles, re-examine things that you thought that you've healed from, and to shake things up just when you've kind of got comfortable. So if you do the work and kind of keep your head up and stay focused and understand what's working, what's not working, then you will be able to move about this and you'll like totally be okay. If you're not on top of things and you want to kind of sit there and sulk and go, oh, poor me, look, this isn't working, oh my god, look at this is wild and crazy, then like sucks for you, I guess. So with that being said, let's move on to the next card. This is Shiva Destroyer. Okay, we've got chaos, now we've got the Destroyer. So Shiva, again, another card talking about breaking down everything that does not serve you. If it's a mindset, if it's people, places, situation, things, I promise you, it will be made very clear to you during this period from like April, late April, until like October, when Pluto comes out of retrograde, and even like during the shadow period too, especially the things that you need to let go, the things that are not working for you. Okay, like we all sit here and talk about how we want to level up and we want to be better and do better and do all of these things, which is absolutely amazing and absolutely fantastic. That being said, we have to make sure that we are taking the time to do the work. And so a lot of people have probably become like very comfortable, or they think that the way that they're doing things is absolutely like super great and that they can't be doing anything else differently. And a lot of us too we're just holding on to stuff, and we're trying to keep hold of things that really are just not working. It's not working. And so this is where too, like the quote, let go or be dragged, really comes through for me during this reading, is because we really need to let go or be dragged. Like, we're kind of already gonna be dragged. Read for filth, the library is open, honey, and we need to just get it together. Just get it all the way together. Whatever doesn't work, boom, over there. If it doesn't work, over there. If it doesn't serve you, over there. If it's holding you back, way down there, over yonder way. Let it go, okay? Now, next card, Helios cycles, okay? We go through cycles. And again, I feel like this retrograde is calling out cycles. A lot of things that we might have thought that we had let go of and moved on from, we haven't quite done yet, or there is yet more healing to do. Because when you think of healing and going over trauma and things, it's not one and done. There's levels to it, there's layers to it. You don't heal in a linear fashion. You just like, you don't do it. There's levels to this. It's depth, it's deep, it's very, very deep things that we're going to be experiencing. So there might be something that you thought that you had let go of, or that you thought that you were okay with, that it's kind of like, well, girl, are you really okay? Are you really okay? Like you said you were, but some of these actions that you have been taking, some of these thought patterns that you have been having, some of the ways that you have disrespected yourself repeatedly because you allow yourself to be put into situations that don't serve you. You allow yourself to be around people that don't serve you. All of these things. So like, you say you've learned these lessons, you say that you've done this work and that you moved on, but have you implemented the lessons that were being taught to you? Because I promise you, like, if you go through like this whole big spiritual thing, you go through this whole lesson or lessons, all these different situations, right? And you don't implement the things that were taught to you, you'll do it again. And you'll do it again and again and again and again and again and again and again until you realize that you need to implement. And sometimes you might not implement it right. Sometimes you might kind of be going and ooh, this is so good, and then you get off track. And like, I'm not saying that like there is something very, very wrong with us when we're not consistent with the work, or when we're not doing the work, or when we're not actively trying to heal and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, this is what this time period will be bringing up for us. So just be ready. Okay. Next card is Vulcan, inventiveness. These next couple cards do get better. And so another card that comes to my mind is let me see, the Four of Cups. Is it the four where the guy's kind of looking at his cups and they're spilled all over, and then he's looking kind of sad, but then there's a cup behind him completely full? I also think of that. I think that we're kind of, it's going to be a lot of things that we need to be processing right now. And so we could fall into overwhelm, or we could sit here and be like, man, all of this stuff over here is ruined. Look at this. This is so sad. Like, look at my stuff over here. But then you got a little bit of stuff over here that's still okay, right? So you can't completely focus on all of like the wildness and the craziness. At the end of the day, the wildness and the craziness is what it is. It is going to happen. Your world is going to be shaken apart. You will be shooketh. You will be shooketh. But how are you going to respond to all of these things when life isn't so easy, and when it shakes you up, and sometimes you have to sit there and change? What are you going to do? Enter this next card, Vulcan. Okay, inventiveness. Vulcan, his Greek equivalent is Hephaestus. Okay, I'm gonna say Hephaestus through this because I really rock with him and I appreciated him since like high school, freshman year high school. Did a project, thought he was really cool, really sweet, like quality dude. Okay, so this card talks about inventiveness. A little bit of background on this particular god, Titan, is that he is an inventor. He creates some of the most bomb things you will ever see. Some of the most bomb things you ever did see. Some of the most bomb things that you will ever see. It's kind of like, if you are familiar with the Lord of the Rings reading material, it's like, do you remember like that golden age where the elves and the dwarves like worked together and their metallurgy was popping. Like, that's what Hephaestus / Vulcan reminds me of. Just really amazing works of art of varying functions, whether it's something to like trap his mom who threw him. She saw him and she saw that he wasn't a cute baby and then she threw him. Like, how dare she? That was so mean. And that, I can't, like, how do you just toss your whole child? Okay. Great job, Juno. Anyways, so back to my main point though. He was just very, very inventive. Whatever it is that was asked of him, whatever it is that he was asked to make, he would do it. And so out of this chaos and destruction and this realization of cycles that we're going through and that we're seeing, how is it that we're going to be inventive? What is it that we're going to be doing differently? And again, must I remind you, Vulcan / Hephaestus, bomb.com inventor, could do it all, could do anything and everything that you wanted. This man could make anything and everything that you want to be. You can be anything and everything that you want. You can make it happen. Anything and everything that it is that you like, anything that you want, that you desire, that you crave, that you want, you can make it happen. Okay, get down into that intuitiveness, get down into that inventiveness, see what it is that you need to do and kind of go out there and do it. Now, something that came up with his face, this is how people like underestimate him and people will talk down on him and alienate him because he looked different. He moved different. He looked different. So in case you didn't know, at this time, during Greek and Roman times, they were using some arsenic and maybe even a little bit of lead during the metallurgy process, and that's not good for us. Okay, it causes us to look bad. Okay, so like, you know, homie wasn't really looking too right to begin with when he was a baby, and then going through all of this metallurgy, you've got like, you know, all of this heat coming from the furnaces, and maybe you got splashed with some metal a couple of times, and then you're dealing with like these heavy metals that are really, really dangerous for us. So you kind of look messed up, right? Maybe just a little bit. It's okay though. People might sit there and like talk down on you and underestimate you, but understand that you deliver, and understand that what you're doing holds weight and is important. Like, when people are gonna sit there and talk about you, it, like, you could sit there and put on all of these like facades and look really cool, and like you could want to flex with people all that you want, but at some point people are going to ask you, like, what are you doing with yourself? What is your track record? What are you showing that you are good for? You know what I mean? And Hephaestus has a good track record. You know, I might not look as cute as y'all, okay, but my metallurgy's popping. So also be mindful of, like, if you're doing that to other people. So if you're like talking down on somebody because they look different, and there's like a line with that, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a difference between like being mean to someone simply because they have like a different like random religious or spiritual preference, and there's a difference between like not tolerating somebody who is like a genocidal maniac, or who like believes in like super deep segregation and like killing off certain like groups of people on the earth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not okay. That's not, no. It's not nice. It's not okay. But yeah, just be mindful too. If you're discounting somebody, you're talking down on somebody, you're thinking down on somebody else because they look different, because maybe their delivery, their approach is something that you don't understand. So again, you kind of have to remove yourself, maybe like remove your feelings. And if you're letting your ego get kind of too extra, rein it in a little bit, rein in the petty, okay? And sit there and really have a minute to think, like, am Am I discounting someone? Am I talking down on someone? Am I knocking somebody's hustle? Am I thinking that someone isn't as good as they truly are? Yeah, there's a double side to that. So this next one, I'm just like really happy about this, and I'm gonna have to look into this particular energy right here because I think it's very, very beautiful. So Jizo support. This is a Japanese deity in Buddhism, and it's said to be an energy that stays behind while to help other people gain enlightenment, and that he looks out for people who are the underdog and who need support and things like that. So, oh, these are like the outcome energies that we'll be talking about now. So this is support. Do we see this down here? Support. We are supported in what we do despite all of this chaos, destruction, these cycles that we're going to be moving through, and the way that we have to sit here and like reinvent ourselves. You are supported. You are divinely supported. You are divinely guided. Tune in to that crown energy. Tune into source energy. Tune into your ancestor spirit guides, angels, spirit, whomever. Okay, that guy. And understand that you are supported. And also kind of think about where it is that you might be like too supported. Okay, so understand like kind of where to let things go, where to like wean yourself off of certain things, because again, that could be something that's holding you back because you think that you have to sit here and be supported by somebody, or sit here and be tethered to somebody. Oh, I can't do so and so such and such thing because this person isn't going to approve. Oh my God, I can't do such and such thing because somebody else told me that I can't do it. Oh my God, I can't do such and such thing because then what is this other person going to do? You have to sit there and break yourself out of the mold of who you used to be and stop letting certain individuals define your existence, and really and truly move out of that and move past that. Yeah. So my next card is Loki, playfulness. So Loki is a Norse god known as the trickster. This man is wild. Straight wildness. Could sit there and do like crazy, like cool things. And through this awesomeness, I think that again, like Loki and Vulcan, I feel like they remind me of each other and their inventiveness. Loki would sit there and use all of his tricks or goodness to make his way out of a situation in the best way that he knew how, and he could shapeshift. So I think that we're going to have to get inventive in molding ourselves into different people. We're going to have to get inventiveness and not only understanding that we can create the best things. Like, we don't necessarily have to wait on other people. It's okay if our support system is completely gone from us, if things that we feel should happen. Again, his mother tossed him away down to earth out of Olympus. Okay, so when we're removed from our support system, when we're removed from all that we have known, how is it that we're going to remake ourselves? How is it that we're going to step up and stand out in amazement? How is it that we're going to be absolutely amazing? How's that going to happen? I wanted to talk more about Loki and shapeshifting. Yeah, so he took on like many different forms. He was like a multi-legged horse, you know, like fantastical being. Loki, and the way that he was able to like twist and turn himself to get the outcomes and information that he wanted is absolutely phenomenal. And so that's really what we're being asked to kind of draw out of this time, is not only understand that we are supported, and that, oh, another card too that I think is really important for now. It's over there. I ain't going to get it. But from the Work Your Light Oracle, that it's happening for you, not to you. yeah, like that just really reminds me of now, because